Hello, everybody out there in Rumble, X, and YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. Of course, I'm Diego, and someone needs to shoot me here because is the show getting better? There's like hints of that here. Like, wow, like I was not expecting this. It's not a masterpiece it's not a great show by any means. Okay, it still has all the regular problems. It's just some of the characters surprised me. Okay, I think that maybe they snuck in a writer in there somewhere that was actually paying attention to what we were saying about season 1 and season 2. Okay, and I think they decided, hey, maybe we need to maybe not fix that, but at least address it. Okay, which is a start. It's not much, but it's something. It's something different than what we've gotten. Okay, if you remember in the last episode, Miranda did mention about hate watching the show. Okay, well, obviously that was a jab at us. Okay, those of us that are watching the show because we hate it. Okay, just to see how they're going to ruin the legacy of Sex and the City some more. Okay, because there's so much damage has been done. They're never going to come back from it. Okay, so now we're basically just watching. The train is already derailed. Okay, it's already fallen off the cliff. Okay, now we're just it's already crashed into the canyon. Okay, now we're just counting the bodies. Okay, and appraising the damage. That's what we're doing right now. Okay, but the train already crashed. Okay, you see what I mean? All right, so that's what we're doing right now, and the fact that that they're actually like addressing us. Okay, it's meta. It's like interactive TV, you could say. Okay, now obviously they're not going to change their stripes. Okay, they're not going to try to improve the show. I'm long past believing that. Okay, but at least they're addressing us now. Okay, at least they're actually showing us that they've been paying attention to us. Okay, so that's something. Like I said, it's not going to save the show. There's way too much damage. Big is already dead. Way too much damage. Okay, Miranda's already like screwed over Steve. Way too much damage. But at least they're addressing some of the stuff. Okay, so some of the stuff I saw here kind of surprised me. Okay, having said that, the show is still a piece of crap. All right, the show and just like crap, yes. Okay, season 3, episode 3. The title of this episode is called "Carrie Go Lightly." Okay, now for those of you that are for those of you women out there, okay, middle-aged white women, and you gay guys, you already know what that means. Okay, but for those of you straight guys out there that don't know what that means or give a shit, I didn't for a long time. The only reason I get the reference is because if you look at my videos here, okay, I actually reviewed Breakfast at Tiffany's like 2 years ago. Okay, so I know where Go Lightly came from. Okay, I actually reviewed that movie. Okay, I watched it for the first time like 2 years ago, and I reviewed it on this channel. Okay, I've already reviewed Breakfast at Tiffany's. I even read the book. There's a short story by Truman Capote, okay, to help me with reviewing it, all right? So I know who Holly Golightly is, okay? I know about Moon River, faster than a mile, whatever, okay? And they reference that a lot on Sex and the City. If you remember Sex and the City, Big, when he played a record for Carrie before he moved to Napa Valley, he played that record, he played that song. Moon River, okay, but he didn't play the Audrey Hepburn version. He played the Louis Prima version, and he played it for Carrie. Obviously, that was the Michael Patrick Queen and the gay stuff. They love anything Breakfast at Tiffany's. All right, because if you think about it, back in the day, Truman Capote was back in the day. He was like the ultimate, gay guy, okay, to hang out with. There's a word for that, okay? It rhymes with hag, and I'll leave it at that, all right? He was the guy, okay, that hung out, the socialite, that hung out, went to all the parties, knew all the people, buddy with Judy Garland and Liza Minnelli, and, he knew all the rich, white, Jewish women socialites in New York. He hung out with all of them, he knew Andy Warhol, he did all that stuff, up until his death, I think in the 70s is when he died. But yeah, he was basically what Elton John is today. That's what Truman Capote was back in the day, okay? So, and they even made a movie about him. I think Philip Seymour Hoffman played him in a movie. Okay, but yeah, that's who he was. He actually invented the true crime novel. Believe it or not, he actually did that. He invented the true crime novel in cold blood. There's a whole section at the bookstore now dedicated to true crime, and he was the first one that published one. A lot of people didn't know that. But anyway, so moving right along. So I get the Breakfast at Tiffany's reference, okay? The show is always using metaphors. It's always using symbolism here. Okay, clearly the cat that Carrie has in her apartment, I forgot the name of that cat because I don't give a crap. Okay, but clearly the cat is a metaphor for Carrie's sexuality. It's a metaphor for her pussy, figuratively and literally. Okay, whatever happens to the cat is what's happening to Carrie's pussy. Okay, her vagina. Okay, yes. Okay, it is. Okay, when the cat's locked up in the house, that means Carrie's not allowed to have sex. Okay, she's imprisoned. Her pussy is imprisoned. Okay, when she's playing with her cat, okay, she's playing with her pussy. Okay, when when the gardener Adam says, "Hey, your cat just got out," it means, "Hey, you just exposed your pussy to me." It means you're wet for me. Okay, your pussy's open and ready to receive me. Okay, you see what I mean? Oh, I better put my cat back inside. In other words, I better be faithful to my boyfriend who lives, 250 miles away, or whatever. However far Virginia is from New York. You see what I mean? Her pussy is literally her pussy on this show, okay? And if you haven't caught that metaphor yet, I don't know what's wrong with you, man, okay? It's right there in front of you. It hits you in the face, okay, like a friggin' sledgehammer. Okay, so in case you haven't noticed that, Carrie's pussy is actually her pussy. When she's talking about her cat, she's talking about her pussy, okay? When people are talking about her cat, they're talking about her pussy. Okay, even in this scene, they're building a fucking like a little a cat bed. Like those things that cats climb and they rest in them. There's like a couple of layers. There's a scene where her and Miranda's actually putting it together for Carrie. You get it? She's finding a place for Carrie's pussy. She's facilitating Carrie's pussy. She's helping Carrie's pussy get what it wants. You get it? Okay? I know. Boom. And to think that these writers, okay, all went to like Ivy League schools. Yeah, I know. But then again, they'd never hire like a Christian, a straight white woman who graduated from like a Christian university. They would never hire a woman like that to write these episodes. Just so you know. Okay. Anyways, let's talk about this episode so far. Okay, and please don't spoil it for me. Okay, but the truth is, I've only watched half of the episode so far, so I don't know what happens in the other half. Okay, so please in your comments, don't. Okay, wait until I make that video before you comment on that stuff. Okay, I'm a busy guy. This is my spare time. Okay, I do this in my spare time. Okay, I got to go through every single scene before I even talk about it here. Okay, all right, moving on, and just like crap. Season 3, episode 3, Carrie Go Lightly. All right, so Carrie, it starts out with Carrie is having a Zoom call with her big fat ass manager or agent, her agent, okay? We remember her from season 1 and season 2. She's the one that's fawning over Carrie, got her the book deal, tells her to go over here for this book signing. You're going to be speaking at this event. You're going to go do all this, blah, 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 okay? So it's her again. I forgot her name and I don't care, okay? But she's talking to her fat agent, okay? And tells her that she's writing an 1800s, like a period piece romance novel. That's what she's working on right now. Okay, which we know is she's just keeping herself busy. Okay, because she lives in an old house that was built in the 1840s. Okay, romance fiction. Okay, and so her agent starts telling her about all these offers that Carrie has to go to these exotic cities and do this, do that. But there's also an option there, an offer to go, I guess, to go to a panel. Okay, I guess a memoir panel is what they call it in Williamsburg, Virginia. Williamsburg, Virginia. Now, obviously, the reason this catches Carrie's eye is because Aiden lives nearby there. He lives like an hour away from there. So she can use this book trip, this work trip, as an excuse to go pay a visit to Aiden, okay? Out in the country where he lives, okay? Now, don't get me started on this stupid 5-year break that they're on right now. It's like they're together, but they're not together. This is ridiculous. No adult, especially one their age, okay? These people are in their fucking 60s, for Christ's sake, okay? Would ever agree to stupid shit like this? This is the stuff you fucking do when you're in high school and you're about to fucking go in the Marines or some shit, and you and your high school girlfriend, oh, dude, we'll stay together. Once I'm done with boot camp, I'll come back for you, and we'll get a place together on base. And no. She's gonna be fucking someone else before you're even done with boot camp, okay? But when you're a kid, you believe this shit. That's the stuff that they're doing right now, okay? Carrie, this whole show is about Carrie trying to relive her youth, trying to go back in time, okay? And do everything the way she did it before, not realizing that she's fucking 60 years old and she can't anymore. She don't even look that way anymore, okay? And she didn't look that great to begin with. I mean, she was doable back then, but today, oh my God, dude, you'd have to put like a blindfold on me, man, okay? And just like, don't look at her, or at least just doggy style, because I don't want to look at her face. That's the truth, man. She looks like the fucking witch, okay, from Snow White. I'm not talking about the new one that came out. I'm talking about like the 1938 Snow White. All right, that's what she looks like. She looks like the witch from that, dude. Yeah. Anyway, so cover her face and put a paper bag on it, and I'm all in. All right, that's a straight guy's point of view. That's what I give you here. I give you here a straight man's point of view. Okay, whether you like it or not. If you can't handle it, get the fuck out right now. Okay, I will not censor myself to spare your feelings. Okay, because the truth is, ladies, okay, I know you like to make fun of us, okay, and call us immature and sensitive and all that kind of shit. The truth is that you're the ones that are fucking controlled by your feelings. Oh, my feeling, you hurt my feelings. Oh. Well, I don't give a shit, okay? You need to know the truth, okay? You need to know the fucking truth. Your boyfriend ain't gonna tell you this shit. Your husband ain't gonna tell you this shit. Your dad ain't gonna, I'm gonna fucking tell you this shit, okay? I got nothing to gain by lying to you. The real question you gotta ask yourself is, can you handle it? Can you handle the truth? Because I know damn well you cannot. You cannot. You can't. You can't. But you're going to get it, baby. Straight up with, say it together, no lube. There ain't no lube here. Don't even look for it. I ain't got none. I ain't got none. That's the way you like it. Anyway, okay, moving right along. So where were we? Okay, yes. Okay, so Williamsburg, Virginia. So Carrie is going to go on this trip just so she can see Abe. She doesn't really need money. She doesn't need to work anymore. Okay, she inherited all of Big's money. Okay, after she murdered him. Okay, so I mean, she got nothing to lose. She's not doing anything. She's not even redecorating her house. Okay, not really. Okay, she's just sitting in her house playing with her pussy, literally and figuratively, okay, and doing nothing with her life, just involving herself in her friends' drama. You know, that's all she's fucking doing, going out to restaurants, stuffing her face, going to bars, you know, stuffing her face with cocktails. That's all she fucking does. She just walks around in her fucking super expensive clothes, hangs out with her friends and gossips and all this kind of fucking shit and tells everybody about her fucking problems. You know, that's all they fucking do. Very familiar, isn't it? All right. Anyway, so the next scene here is Anthony. He's got this store called Hot Fellas. Okay, that's where he gets these like male model guys, these steroid addicted fucking gay male models to wear these like really tight denim rompers, and they deliver bread. Okay, you get it? They deliver bread. Okay, and mostly the bread is shaped like a fucking like French bread. Okay, you know, like in those movies, whenever someone's carrying groceries, you'll see the French bread loaf sticking out. That's like a cliche in every fucking movie. Well, that's what they're doing. Okay, you get it? You get it? All right. These are really tight rompers so you can see their package. And Anthony actually complains that even though these guys are all good looking and they're muscular, okay, and they're ripped and all that shit, that most of them are fucking not well hung. Okay, that's a plot point in this episode. I'm not making this up. Okay, and so he's really pissed off that his boyfriend, Giuseppe, who's this big dicked unemployed poet that lives with him. Okay, yeah, I'm not making that up either. Okay. Yeah, he should be wearing the romper and going out there because women will actually come in to his fucking bread shop if they see a guy in there in a romper with a really fucking big dick. Okay, it even impressed Drew Barrymore. Okay, like last season. All right, yeah, I'm not making this up. So he's mad that his unemployed poet boyfriend, Italian, who doesn't speak very much English, won't come out and wear the romper and show off his big dick to all these fucking middle-aged, ugly, horny women so that they'll come into his bread store and buy fucking bread. Okay, he's pissed off about that. That's actually a plot point in this fucking episode. All right? Anyway, so Anthony's there. Hot Fellas, okay, the girls are there, okay, the four are there. By four, I'm including Seema, obviously. Samantha wants nothing to do with this show. Kim Cattrall wants nothing to do with this show, okay, but Seema has taken the place officially now of Samantha, okay, and I'm sorry, Seema, you are no Samantha, okay? You're just as unattractive as Samantha, especially right now, because Samantha would be like pushing 70 now, okay, but she does not have the charisma. Seema has nowhere near. In fact, she's the anti-charisma. She brings down the show. There's actually nothing about Seema that's even charming or likable. Okay, not her looks, not her personality, not her voice, not her habits, nothing. Okay, there's nothing about Seema. She's a chain smoking, unattractive, insufferable, self-entitled fucking bitch who likes nothing more than to complain about herself or brag about herself. That's all she fucking does. Okay, she doesn't help anybody. She doesn't bolster anybody. Everyone's always there to fucking pump up her self-esteem. She never helps anyone else out. She never gives positive affirmations to anybody. She always accepts positive affirmations from people. She never gives any. Okay, she's a piece of fucking shit. No wonder she's alone. Okay, what's the point of having all her money? What's the point of having her driver or her Mercedes, okay, or her business or any of that fucking shit if she's just gonna die fucking alone? Who's even gonna get her money? Her family? She doesn't even fucking like her family. Okay? She's got no fucking kids, no nothing. There's no nothing. You see what I mean? And yet she's supposed to be portrayed as a successful boss bitch. Okay? She's supposed to be the symbol of what all women in America and the world should aspire to be. Be like Seema. Be successful, boss bitch, well-educated, make a shitload of money, wear expensive clothes, act like you're all that. Okay? But at the end of the fucking day, you're fucking sleeping alone. I don't even think the writers realize the message that they're putting out here. Okay? I'm not emotionally connected to these fucking women or their clothes or their restaurants or any of that fucking shit. Okay? I can just call it for what it is. This is fucking narcissism. Okay? Disguised as self-empowerment. And that's exactly what this entire fucking show is. It's narcissism disguised as self-empowerment. If a guy were to act the way these women are acting, he would be the fucking villain of the fucking show. Okay? And he would be booed by first of all, women wouldn't watch that show. Second of all, the women that did would fucking boo him. And they would call the network, you need to cancel this show. This is a horrible example of men. But when women do it, it's empowering. You just can't handle it. No, it's bullshit. You can't handle it. That's why it's never the other way around. See my point? All right. Okay, so that's going on here. Okay, Carrie she brags to her friends, okay, about how she's going to use this memoir panel to go see Aiden, okay, and she's going to have she's going to use this to have a quick lunch with Aiden in Virginia while she's there, okay, and the reason she didn't call him and tell him that she's coming over or anything like that is because she doesn't want to invade his space. She doesn't want to seem like she's the girlfriend that's just like popping up without him knowing about it, you know. She doesn't, you know, she wants to give him a space to deal with his shit. Which, like I said, makes no fucking sense. His son needs to be in a psychiatric hospital so he can be watched by professionals 24/7. Aiden does need to come visit him there. I'm not saying abandon him there. I'm saying he does need to come visit him there, okay? But he cannot be responsible for, I mean, the whole reason Aiden is even in Virginia is because his son is blackmailing him. If you leave and go to New York with your girlfriend, I'm going to kill myself. So that's why Aiden has to stay there. Okay, this plot makes no sense at all. The only reason it's fucking there is because they can't pay John Corbett to be in every fucking episode because he's too expensive. Okay, so they got to find a way to keep him on the show, but yet not have him on the show, not pay him to be in an episode. That's why. You'll even notice the husbands of the wives, Lisa and Charlotte, their husbands don't show up in every episode. There's a reason for that because they can't afford to pay them. Okay, they can't afford to pay these guys to show up in every episode. You see what I mean? All right. So moving right along. Anthony, okay, Anthony is upset that they have no customers, okay? He just opens his grand opening despite all the Buffy men, okay, and the tight rompers, okay? And like I said, he actually mentions that the guys out there that should be handing out free bread to the women and getting them to come in, they're not hung enough, okay? They're not dangling enough, okay? They need a guy to get his boyfriend in there, you know, so the women out there can see it, like, you know, swinging past his knees, you know? That's what he needs. That's what he needs. All right, but his boyfriend won't help him out. Did you know that gay guys write this show? Did you know that the showrunner Michael Patrick Queen is the showrunner for the show? Did you know that? Okay. Well, in case you couldn't tell, yes, it's the gay guys in charge of this show, and lesbians are writing the episodes. All right. Moving on, because they don't hire straight people on the show. Okay, moving right along. Okay, so that's all going on here. Okay, and like I said, why the fuck is Seema there? Why is Seema sitting there? She's not even in the conversation. She's just staring on her phone the whole time. She's just sitting there staring at her phone. Okay, while Carrie's bragging to her friends about her going on her trip to fucking Virginia. All right, like I said, she's not one of the four. Okay, the other women, Miranda and Charlotte, have almost no relationship with Seema at all. At all. They're not friends. They don't hang out together. Okay, it's everyone that hangs out with Carrie. Okay, they don't hang out. The girls don't hang out with each other. You're never gonna see fucking Seema hanging out with Charlotte. You're never gonna see a Miranda hanging out with Charlotte. Okay, you're never gonna see Miranda hanging out with Seema. But you will always see Carrie with Charlotte, or you'll see Carrie with Miranda, or you'll see Carrie with Seema, or you'll see all of them together. But you'll never see, okay, anyone, two people hanging out with each other when one of them is not Carrie. Okay, and it was like that on Sex and the City too, in case you didn't notice. All right, there was only one episode in Sex and the City where you actually saw Charlotte and Samantha together, and that was in the first season when they were still trying to figure out what the show was going to be about. Okay, and that's the one where Charlotte's brother, yeah, do you remember that Charlotte had a brother? Of course you don't. Okay, remember how he didn't show up at both of her weddings, and he's not showing up on this show either? Okay, yeah, Charlotte has a brother. Okay, had sex with Samantha. Okay, so of course when her brother came to visit her in New York, he stayed at her place. And then she wakes up one morning and finds Samantha there in the kitchen. So obviously she had spent the night with her brother, okay? And they had this little interaction where Charlotte called Samantha a slut, blah, blah, blah. Oh, no, Samantha dared her to call me what? What? You know, dared her to call her a slut. And then at the end of that episode, they made up. They became friends again, okay? So that was it. Like, that was the only time you ever saw, like, two characters with each other that were not fucking Carrie, when Carrie was not there. The only other time they did this, yes, there was one more time, okay, was when Big was there. It was at the end of the show, at the end of the whole series, okay, where Big was contemplating going to Paris to get fucking Carrie, and Big showed up at that fucking diner that they always eat at for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and the three girls were there, Charlotte, Miranda, and Samantha were there, and Big was sitting there talking to them. Okay, that was also the only other time you ever saw the girls together and Carrie wasn't there, because Big was there and they were talking about her. So in a sense, she was there. Get it? Those are the only times out of the entire fucking 92 episodes of Sex and the City. Those are the only two times that the women did anything with themselves when Carrie was not involved. Okay? Yes, I know my fucking Sex and the City. Anyway, and like I said, all the women think that they are Carrie's best friend. All right, moving right along. Okay, so none of the girls want to go with Carrie. Carrie wants one of the girls to come with her to Virginia, okay? Okay, but none of the girls want to go with Carrie, okay? To Williamsburg, Virginia. Okay, Anthony wants Charlotte to call Lisa and tell her to get all her rich fucking friends to come into her store, come into his store. I said her store, so that he can get some business. Okay, like where's Lisa? She should be here. She should bring all her rich snooty friends here. But I need customers. That kind of thing, right? All right, so that's going on, okay, and of course, right on cue, Lisa arrives, okay, dressed like a fucking kaleidoscope, like she always does, with all her fucking all her rich white women friends, okay, and they all go in there, okay, and Carrie gets a call from Aiden's ex-wife, Kathy, ooh, the mother of his children. She gets a call from Kathy, okay, so she's like, oh, what's this about? So she goes outside, okay, to answer the phone and talk to her, okay? Well, it turns out there is a worldwide or a nationwide shortage of Adderall, okay? Adderall, which is a drug that's given to people with ADHD. I do know a little something. No, I don't have ADHD, okay, but someone very close to me does. So I know a little bit about this. It is the #1 prescription drug for people with ADHD, okay? And apparently there's a nationwide shortage. It's probably because of the Trump boycott or whatever with China, but that's over with now, okay? So nobody's got Adderall. So she's hoping that Carrie can get some Adderall for her son Wyatt, the one who's always threatening to kill himself every day, okay? Because she can't get a hold of any. So basic Carrie's like, what am I, like a drug dealer now? Like, what the hell is this? How am I, if you can't get it, how am I supposed to get it? You know? She's like, oh, well, you have connections over there. You know, I mean, you know everybody. It's like, yeah, I got connections at restaurants, you know? I mean, you know, and restaurants and like department stores. I don't have like, you know, any fucking, you know, underground pharmaceutical connections. Okay, and this is just so fucking stupid. Anyway, so that's what happens, okay? And Charlotte talks to her rich, snooty friends. She tells Charlotte, she goes, hey, I need to find some Adderall, blah, blah. You know, and Charlotte says like, oh, let me take care of this. And she grabs Carrie's cell phone and talks to a bunch of her rich fucking snooty fucking women that don't fucking work, that all have kids, going to private schools together, that are all paid for by their rich fucking husbands that they disrespect, cheat on, and emasculate. Yeah, she goes to one of them or several of them. Okay, and of course immediately one of them goes like, yep, I can get some for you. No problem. Fast acting, just like you like it. That kind of thing. So she takes care of it like in 30 seconds. And she manages to hook up Carrie with some Adderall. Remember, the entire country has a shortage of it, but because these women, Charlotte and her friends, are all rich, snooty, bitches, they can get it like that because they're special. Okay, and then we spend the rest of the episode supposed to feel sorry for them and their problems. Okay, we're supposed to feel sorry for them and their problems when they pull shit like this off. Okay, that the average woman cannot fucking do. All right, if your kid has ADHD, they're gonna have to go without. Okay, but Charlotte's not gonna have to go without because she knows everybody that matters. See what I mean? That's what this show is. Okay, narcissism disguised as empowerment. All right, so anyway, so Lisa talks to her assistant, Grace. Okay, Lisa goes back to her working on her documentary that she's been working on for fucking 10 years. Now, I know you're going to try to correct me here. They said it was 8 years. No, it's not. You know why? Because if you remember last season, which was 2 years ago, she said she'd been working on it for 7 years. Remember? Okay, so now that was in 2023. Now it's 2025. Okay? So 2 does not equal 1. So it's actually been 9 years. It's been 9 years she's been working on this bullshit documentary, and apparently they're only halfway done with it after 9 years. This is a job that's so fucking important to Lisa that she berates her husband and emasculates him almost every fucking day because he doesn't respect that she has her own career. Okay? A career that involves a Black History Month documentary on black women that nobody gives a shit about, okay? That weren't even the first in anything, okay? That she's been working on for 9 fucking years, all right? And has still not gotten paid for it. While her husband, who's running for the city comptroller right now, who graduated from Harvard, who pays for their entire fucking luxury multi-million-dollar apartment. He pays for their kids' fucking private school. He's got 3 kids. He pays for all their private schools. Okay. He also pays for that fucking god-awful wardrobe that Lisa wears every fucking episode. Okay. She wears like female versions of Cosby sweaters every fucking episode, like it's 1992 or some shit. Okay. She dresses like a fucking kaleidoscope, and she berates him, emasculates him, disrespects him, tells him he's a piece of shit, complains to him, complains about him, gets mad at him, throws shit at him all the fucking time. Yes. That Lisa. Okay. Just so we understand who we're talking about here. Okay, that Lisa shows up, brings some coffee to her assistant named Grace, another black woman. I guess that's her editor that they're working on the documentary together. And Grace tells her, hey, listen, I got offered another job. Steve McQueen's agent approached me, and he's working on a documentary, and he wants me to work on it. So Lisa's excited, like, oh, okay, great, that's good for you, Steve McQueen. Now, at first, I was kind of confused because I know who Steve McQueen is, and that fucker died in 1980, okay? He died of cancer that he got from asbestos, because he used to drive. He was a famous actor, okay, from the 60s and the 70s. You probably remember him. He was in The Great Escape, okay, where he did that motorcycle. He jumped over the fence. Great old movie. I remember him from the Towering Inferno, where he played the fire marshal. Okay, him and Paul Newman had to save all the people trapped in the tallest building in the world that was on fire. Okay, you probably remember him from Bullet. That was filmed in Chicago, where I'm from. Okay, Steve McQueen was a man's man. Okay, he was also in the Magnificent Seven. He had a great history. Okay, the fucker died, I think, at 50 years old from cancer because he got it from asbestos. He's wearing asbestos because he used to race cars in his spare time. Okay, Ally McGraw left her husband Bob Evans to be with Steve McQueen. He was the most famous actor in the world in the late 60s, early 70s, big time leading man. He always wore the turtlenecks. He popularized the turtlenecks for men. That's why you see men always wearing turtlenecks in the early 70s. That's because of Steve McQueen. All right. So anyway, he's a big guy, but he died a long time ago, and he was white. Well, it turns out, I found out today that there's another Steve McQueen spelled the exact same way who's also in Hollywood, and he is alive. He's a black guy. He directed that movie 12 Years a Slave. I guess he won an Academy Award for it. I don't know. I don't give a shit. Okay, I think I watched some of that movie, and that was it. Never watched the whole thing. I think that's the one where they had Brad Pitt was the good white racist, who respected the slaves, and Benjamin Cumberbatch was the evil white racist who tortured his slaves. You see what I mean? Yeah. One of those movies, okay? I think it had a message there. Okay, anyway, yeah, so this guy clearly hates white people, okay, and he hired Grace to work for him. So instead of her finishing this documentary with Lisa, she's going to quit right on the spot. But she did give her a list of all these other women that she knows, black women, that are also editors, to have Lisa hire one of them to finish the documentary. Well, Lisa's not taking this very well. Okay. She tells her, you don't have to take the job. Oh, that's great. I'm glad you have a list. You should give it to Steve McQueen. You don't have to take this job. This is a huge setback for me. Once again, self-entitlement. It's all about her. This huge setback for me. I'm more than a little annoyed. Because we've been working on this project for 8 years. No, 9 years. Okay? And Grace tells her, man, and I sympathize with Grace here. She's like, hey, Lisa, okay? It was only supposed to take 1 year to do this documentary. Okay? It was only supposed to take 1 year. And she's like, well, it took this long because I have children. Then why the fuck are you trying to become a documentary filmmaker when you have children? You see what I mean? You got to pick what's more important to you. Getting your fucking bullshit first black woman to ever do fucking shit documentary that's been taking you fucking 9 years to do, or taking care of your fucking kids. Because once they turn 18, they're going to fucking get the fuck out. Okay? You've only got one chance to be in their childhood, in their life as children. And then they're going to go off and do their own fucking thing and become self-entitled, insufferable cunts just like you. Okay? So which one is more important to you? Because whichever one's more important to you, that's the one you got to go to. Okay? That's the one you should do. Fuck, you're rich enough, hire a fucking nanny to take care of them. Okay? Yes, they'll never see you. They won't have any fucking love for or respect for you, not really, because you won't ever fucking be there, but at least you'll get your fucking Black History Month documentary done. And that's what's really important, right? You see what I mean? So you gotta pick one. It's either that or fucking, have your fucking husband quit his fucking job making all the money that pays, you move into a goddamn Airbnb with your fucking kids and go to public school, okay? While he stays home, takes care of the kids, and you can work full time at your bullshit PBS documentary job. Why not? You see what I mean? What's more fucking important to you? So how the fuck can you complain when this woman who's been working for you for nine fucking years decides I've had enough of this shit. This is taking way too long. You see what I mean? Maybe she wants to make her own fucking money. PBS doesn't pay very much. Okay? Maybe she wants to make some more fucking money. Maybe she wants to better her career. Instead of, she has no kids. Okay? She has no kids. Okay? Obviously she's a lesbian. Okay? But she has no fucking kids and she wants to make more money and she wants to do something important, not work on the same fucking project that's never gonna fucking come out. Makes sense to me. I'm just surprised that they fucking that they did this to Lisa, because Lisa's the only black woman on this show. Okay, they got rid of Naya last season. Okay, so and we all know that on these shows where the viewers are mostly rich white women that are liberal, you cannot ever talk back to a black woman. You can never mistreat a black woman. You can never berate a black woman, because that's racist and sexist and homophobic. Because Lisa's clearly a closeted lesbian as well. You see what I mean? You can't do that. So, she has to get her way in every situation. You see what I mean? So I'm surprised that they actually gave her some pushback here. They actually gave her a challenge. Because you can't do that to black women on these shows. They got to have everything handed to them. Otherwise, you're racist. You see what I mean? They don't have to suffer like the white people do. Anyway, so that's going on here, okay? Lisa's pissed. She's so pissed off, she walks out. She just walks out. And while she's walking out, two of her producers, okay, who are both straight white guys, yeah, they tell her, hey, did you get a hold of Michelle Obama yet? Is she going to be in your documentary? And she's just like, hey, is your documentary almost done? It's only been 9 years. She's like that. And she just keeps walking. Okay, boo-hoo-hoo. Her fucking Cadillac problems. All right, next scene here, Charlotte goes to, I guess she goes to this rich, expensive coffee house to go meet some of the employees that she works with, her co-workers, who are all younger women. They're all like in their early 30s or late 20s. Okay, all the women that she works with at the gallery. Okay, and she brings them all coffee. Okay, and the women brag. They brag about the men that they meet at these parties that they go to. Okay, apparently there's lots of parties when you're in the art gallery industry or something. And so Charlotte goes to these events, but she always leaves early because she's got kids and a husband at home. She can't be staying out till fucking 4 a.m. anymore. Okay, so she leaves early. Okay, but apparently once Once Charlotte leaves, that's when all the cool stuff starts to happening at these parties. Okay, they have after parties. Okay, that's where these women hook up with men. That's when they actually sell a lot of the art, is at these after parties while the guys are drunk. Okay, and then they brag about it to each other. Oh, I met this guy at the after party, and this is what the fat land whale says. That she met some cute guy named Rolf at the after. Well, you can't even fit into a fucking after party. How the fuck? I mean, was it another land whale? Okay, how did y'all even touch it? Are your arms long enough to touch each other? I mean, what the fuck? Anyway, so that's what she brags about, Okay, and so now Charlotte feels that she's missing out, that these women are selling artwork while they're at a party, and she can't go to the party because she's a mom. Because some man forced her to be a mom, thereby sabotaging her career, which is the most important thing, is a career. That's not fair. It's a man's fault. You see what I mean? See where this is going? This is fucking every episode. So now Charlotte's pissed off that she doesn't get to go to the after parties because she has to go home and make soup for her fucking children. She has to go home and make her children's favorite green beans. She has to go home and buy vegan dog food. She has to go home, and take care of her fucking family, okay, which is ruining her career. You see what I mean? You see this self-entitlement bullshit, insufferable crap? It's not just Seema. It's everybody on this fucking show, including Carrie. Okay? She doesn't get a pass either. Okay? This is all a load of fucking horse shit. Okay? These women are insufferable. They're unlikable. Okay? They shit down on people that have less than them. Okay? They're all pretentious and elitist. Okay, why the fuck am I supposed to care about their problems? Why the fuck am I supposed to care about what happens to them? I don't give a shit if Miranda finds love. I don't give a shit if Carrie and Aiden break up. I don't give a shit if fucking Seema ever fucking finds a boyfriend. I don't give a shit about Charlotte's fucking family life. You know why? Because they're all a bunch of assholes. This is my ex. This my Rumble. And I'll be back to continue my review of this worthless piece of crap called And Just Like Crap. I thank you for watching this long, and I'll see you soon on the next one. Bye.